This is the Vivo X300 Pro. The Vivo X300 Pro on paper seems like it's one of the best camera smartphones out there on the market. But is it really that good? Well, today let's test it out. In today's video, I'm mostly going to focus on the capabilities of the cameras on the back. But before we begin, I wanted to really quickly thank TradingShenzen. They sent out the Vivo X300 Pro for me to test out and see how I like it. Without them, this video would not be possible. And if by the end of the video you're interested in getting a Vivo phone for yourself, check out the link down below for TradingShenzen. So the Vivo X300 Pro has a triple camera setup. It is a 50 megapixel main camera sensor, together with a 50 megapixel wide camera sensor and a 200 megapixel telephoto lens, which is an 85mm equivalent. All three of the lenses perform really good. The wide angle lens is pretty nice. It is a 0.6 times zoom. Essentially, it's really nice if you don't have any space to zoom out anymore and you cannot go any farther. Well, with the 0.6 zoom, you can take really nice photos of architecture, for example, which is my main usage for the wide angle lenses. With the main 50 megapixel camera sensor, we really have a really nice final look. Not only has a nice dynamic range, it has a really good color to it. But we're gonna talk about colors in a second. Overall, the characteristics of the main camera sensors are definitely nice, and it is also very sharp. It is also capable of really nice close focusing distance. You can really get close to the subject. And then the 200 megapixel telephoto lens. Being an 85mm, it means it's pretty nice for portraits, for example. It is a nice kind of a focal length for the face and people in general. So if you like taking portraits, this is a really good setup for it. Not only that, because it is a 200 megapixel camera sensor, meaning that while it is only a 3.5 zoom, it also is a 200 megapixel, meaning you can actually zoom in digitally a lot without losing too much quality. And at a certain point, you also have AI features that really sharpen and make the photos look better. And while some may argue that this is not a real photo anymore, it is going to be for everyday users, something that they can rely on to have more range in the photos. Maybe you want to have that extra reach, that gives us a little bit more reach. But at 200 megapixels, even if you're digitally zooming in beyond the 3.5 zoom, it still looks incredible. And on the telephoto lens, we also have the macro capabilities, which are really nice. I always like it when the phones have it on the telephoto, makes it just much better than the wide angle lens macro photography. Just makes it much more professional. The depth of field and the way the things look in the frame look much better. Also for photos, you have three different main color modes. Well, there is more, but I'm going to talk about the three main ones, which is the vivid, the texture, and the Zeiss. Because as you can see on the back, this is a collaboration with Zeiss, which you can definitely feel from the optics to the final look, just overall how the final result looks. I took most of the photos on the vivid, as this was the one that was the default setting, but I did play around with all of them. They're not gonna drastically change the photo, but you can definitely see the difference between all of them. And to be honest, I liked all of the three of the modes. I'm not gonna lie, just like the Vivo X200 Pro last year, I feel like these are some of the best photos you can get from a smartphone. I feel like it's a combination of good optics, good quality rendering of the photos, and just the processing of the photos. Like the whole package together gives us a really nice looking photo. Even one thing that I really am usually really not happy with smartphones, which is the skin color science, but with the Vivo, it feels like it's a step in the right direction. It feels like most often than not, I'm happy with the way it looks. Maybe I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And when taking the photos, on all three of the lenses, you can shoot in JPEG and RAW. So if you want to take full advantage of the RAW capabilities of the sensors and the lenses, you can shoot in RAW and edit them in post-production. If you're interested in my presets, where you can go from a RAW photo to a finished end result with one click, check out the link down below for my Lightroom presets. And by the way, with the processing power that the Vivo has, you can pretty comfortably game on it. But speaking of gaming, I highly recommend you check out Instant Gaming. This is where I get my games and subscriptions from. I was literally able to find Batman Arkham Trilogy for just a couple of dollars, and even other gems for literally as low as $1 or $2. And also, together with Instant Gaming, we're doing a giveaway where one of you can win a game of your choice. If you're interested in this month's giveaway, check out the link down below. But what about the video on the Vivo X300 Pro? And to be honest, this is once again a really great result. I feel like the videos on it are really nice. Maybe this isn't the best video phone I've seen out there on the market. I still feel like the iPhone 17 Pro Max has better looking video than the Vivo. I feel like it is once again a step in the right direction. It definitely doesn't feel like that over sharpened look that many smartphones have. So it's a really good one to use. And I feel like for many, the video capabilities of the Vivo are gonna be more than enough. I feel like the Vivo in general, both for photos and videos, is doing incredible this year. You can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second across all of the lenses, and even 8K 30 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second with some limitations. But overall, the final look, the stabilization, everything looks great. You can also change the lenses while recording in the 4K 60 frames per second, and while it isn't the smoothest I've seen out there on the market, it definitely has a really nice smooth transition. And also you can shoot in log format across all the 3 lenses in video department in 4K 60 frames per second. So if you want to color grade in post-production and really push the boundaries of how much data you can get from the video side of the Vivo X300 Pro, you can do that here. First of all, I really like that you have the Pro features on the Vivo, JPEG and RAW, or the log recording, but you can also change things like the shutter speed or the ISO. So there's a lot of Pro features on the Vivo X300 Pro. Overall, I feel like it's one of the better phones currently out there on the market in terms of photo and video package. It definitely feels artistic. It's definitely a phone for those that really want to have nice photos and videos from their smartphone that maybe don't want to have that smartphone look to it. I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised with the Vivo X300 Pro in both photos and videos, and especially in the photo department. With that being said, I am pleasantly surprised with the Vivo. There wasn't really anything that I would say was bad about it. Both photo and video performance was top notch. To be honest, this is one of the better, if not the best, camera phones out there on the market. Overall, to really sum it up, the optics are great. The final result of the photos and videos looks really good without that smartphone look to it. This is definitely one of the better options out there on the market at the moment. So if you're looking for a great smartphone for photos and videos, I can highly recommend the Vivo X300 Pro. But let me know in the comment section down below what do you think about the performance of the Vivo X300 Pro. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.